This is our second meeting of the year, and hopefully everybody's had a good month. We certainly had a busy month in January between the meeting in Tallahassee and also in Northeast Florida, the meeting with FSP. So it was a good start to the year. I'm going to send it right over. We've got other things that we'll cover later, but I'm going to send it over to Scott Funker. Scott, we asked you to join us, and Tom probably told you this, but because we heard such great things about what was happening in Central Florida with your assistance. So we thought you could be a good help for everyone.
Okay, well, be happy to let you know what I did and see if anybody can use the things that I've used. But little background, this September will be 40 years in the business. Now, I started at 12 in case any of you are doing the reverse math here. But and I think that's part of my success is that I know the players, I know the players with the pockets, and I have no problem shaming them into giving us some money. But when I was asked and agreed to take this position on, I immediately went out to the NAFA website, and there is an abundance of tools out there that people can use that are in, chairman, pack chairman. And basically, I took bits and pieces and kind of tailored an email that I sent out to our Central Florida chapter, and it worked fairly well. I mean, I talk about what the pack is in the letter, and Tom, I'll be happy to send the letter to you if you want to send it out, and people can use it if they want, or
that'd be great.
Throw it out if they want, or modify it. But anyway, basically, it talks about what the pack does, the good things that we've done. We've protected, with the big thing that I drive across is we're not buying votes. We are asking for an audience with congressional candidates, to let them hear our side of the story. And oh, by the way, we'd like to drop off a check. And that seems to resonate pretty good with folks. So I did that initially, put out an email blast. And then, of course, I put in there the ways that you can make your contribution. You can go online or whatever, call me, call the folks up at NAFA. And there's a couple of folks up there that are very helpful. Stephanie Sheridan, Tom, I don't know if you're familiar with her, or Shanika Thomas, very helpful people. So that's how I started out the year, was just a letter out to everybody, an email letter. And Paula Keys, our association executive, she's got the database, and I just sent it to her, and she blasts it out to everybody. So that worked well. Another thing that I did is I greet everybody that come to the meetings that we have, the monthly meetings or bi-monthly now. And I basically just say, hey, are you a member of the PAC? Do you know what the PAC is? And it stimulated some interest. And every meeting that I've done that, I've picked up a couple of new contributors. Okay. So that's worked out very well. Just kind of working it the same way you'd work your life insurance or your disability business. You kind of got to ask for the sale. And then also we do an annual PAC event, and we try to hold it, at a place that's convenient for everybody to get to. Last year we did it at a racket club, and this year we're talking about maybe something a little bit different. But it's basically something very similar to what we do at Day on the Hill. It's kind of an altar call. Hey, we need some money. Can you help us out? We pay for some food and a couple of drinks for everybody, and just try to get some people to contribute, people that maybe are members but not members of the PAC yet to come. Just trying a variety of different things. And again, I think my tenure in the business, like I said, I know the players with the pockets, and I'm not afraid to shame into giving me some money. And there's some folks on, that I saw on the list that I knew, and I picked up the phone and called them, and one of them gave me $600, another one gave me $500, just shaking the tree, so to speak. So nothing really revolutionary, just kind of working the spot. But I think we did those email blasts. We did them twice last year, and those it helps to keep, the pack in front of people. And, but that's basically what I did. And it worked out well. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of new contributors, but we got a few. I wanted to get more annual or monthly bank draft contributors because I think that works well. Didn't quite get the numbers that I wanted there, but all in all, we raised an additional, I think, 34% over and above the prior year. So I was pleased with that. I think we're number 3 in the nation for local chapters, and it's worked out well. So that's all I've done. And again, Tom, I'll share with you that letter that we sent out, and you can push it out to the presidents, or they can push it out to their pack chairs, and they can use it as they wish, change it as they wish, or like I said, just delete it. But I just worked it. It's the bottom line. Unfortunately, I think because I've been through the chairs here locally, sometimes people take on these positions and they really don't work them. They just, okay, I'm the pack chair. Well, I chose, well, I'm going to work it if I'm going to be the pack chair, and that's basically all I did. So.
Scott, Jeff Turnoff and I were at the PAC event that you held at the Racket Club in the fall.
Yeah.
And just a couple of thoughts about that. First of all, beautiful, absolutely stunning venue that was there at the Racket Club and on the lake with the sun setting. I mean, I know that's not the largest reason that people give, but the venue really does create the environment for camaraderie and for the giving and the sharing, I think. But
sure,
more important than that was the fact that you had several of your local area legislators at that meeting.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how important that is to get those folks in there and let the members hear from them?
Yeah, absolutely. And I probably should have addressed that, but Glenn Ritchie he's very helpful in getting those people. And we always try to have, as we have an event, in days past, have legislative people there. We had David Smith and the lady here from Orlando. I should know her. I can't think of her name, but anyway, David Smith did a wonderful job. He spoke, about the issues, but he also said, I really respect what you guys do in your industry. And yes, your support on, Day on the Hill, your contributions that you can make. But we just had 2 legislators there. They each spoke for about, 20 minutes. And it was just very well received. And again, I'm lucky to have Glenn Ritchie. Glenn he knows the people that he can pull in. We were supposed to have our CFO, but I guess that fell through. We won't go there. But anyway, we had him for Day on the Hill, so that was awesome. But yeah, if you can have legislators at your event, if you do an annual event, it's very helpful. We had, I wish I could think of the other lady's name. Paula, do you remember? Or Mike, do you remember?
Yeah, it was Linda Chapin, I thought.
Yes. But anyway, it's just helpful to have them there, and especially if they can, if they agree, get your point across what you want to say, but also, mention if they're so inclined that, what you do, the pack and all that is so important. And yeah, so that's just really, I think, important to have legislators there. We used to, and we still are going to try and have some folks at our regular monthly meeting, but this is a 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock event. We have some heavy hors d'oeuvres and everybody gets a couple of drinks. And it works out really well. Linda Stewart, not Linda Chapin. Linda Chapin's a musician.
I was just going to correct you. It was Linda Stewart.
Linda Stewart and David Smith.
You know what else is interesting? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but what's interesting is when I think I was the one that asked the question, how's our lobbyist Tim Meenan treating you? that informality. And with every time I go to one of these things and Tim Meenan's name is mentioned, they all know Tim. Tim knows them on a first name basis. And Tim has such a great relationship and a great rapport with our state legislators that they just crack a big smile on their face whenever you mention their name. They love him, you know?
Yeah, I would
And
agree.
I think to remind them of that, Scott, in that very public forum there at the Racket Club, you know, creates an environment of, you know what, we're really doing a good job here. We really have these important relationships going. Yeah, I'll crack open my wallet and give some money, you know?
Sure, sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. So, you know, there's no secret sauce here, guys. It's just using the tools that are out there that work for you and working it, you know, actually working it, not just saying, okay, I'll be the PAC chair and, you know, if somebody has a question, I'll answer it. I mean, I pick up the phone and call people, you know, I greet people at the meetings when they come. We do this annual event. I mean, and I think that's all there's to it. And to a certain extent, my tenure in the business and knowing who has the money and, you know, and hitting them up, and that helps too. But I mean, others can do that. Others can lean on senior members to call on those other people. Like if you're a little bit younger, like let's say in your late 30s, early 40s, you don't know these 60-some-year-olds, you know. There's people in your organization, hopefully, that could reach out and say, hey, can you help us out? How about $1,000? No, can't do that. Well, all right, I'll put you down for 500. Thanks. You know, just something like that. You know, you just gotta have fun with it, but you gotta work it, and that's the bottom line. That's all I did.
Go ahead, Mike. Mike,
Oh, I
the one
had
thing that I would take away from this is that for the locals to, if they don't have a PAC chair at this point, and I think there's a few that don't, go through your people and get somebody who's been in the business a while, who has the experience of knowing a lot of the people that are members. And then the other thing is, this is an election year, and the legislators are really anxious to be in front of as many people as possible. So if you're looking for something to do for a meeting, I would highly recommend. They're in session now, but they won't be later on in the year. They'd be delighted to come to a meeting. And if you have one, just say, oh, so-and-so's coming, and they'd be more than happy to make sure that they're there as well. It's a really good opportunity for a meeting.
Yep. So
I would like to add, Scott, if you recall yesterday at our board meeting, Terry, oh wait, can you hear me? Okay.
yeah,
At our board meeting yesterday, Terry Seafelt made a very good point. Many members, particularly newer ones, feel that a portion of the money they pay in dues must be going towards supporting this PAC. So we need to make sure at every meeting we have that we explain, no, that money helps support Tim Meenan and pay for him, but he's our lobbyist. That is not money that we contribute to the legislators. That comes from the PAC, and I thought that was a really nice distinction to lay out to people. Right. So that, and I think we agreed, according to the minutes I took, that we're going to put that on the agenda going forward at every meeting. We're not going to ask for money. We're just going to explain the difference between what their dues are helping with versus what their PAC contributions are helping with.
That's right. So, any other questions for me?
I was going to say, and you can have the people that hand out the checks to the legislators get up and talk about that experience as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a really nice opportunity to share about our industry and have a one-to-one conversation with them.
Absolutely. So that's all I got. And I just, like I said, just work it. And I think that's the secret sauce. Work it, have a plan, work the plan, and just keep going.
Great job, Scott.
All right, Tom, I will send you that letter.
Okay.
And you can share it with the presidents, and they can share it with their PAC or whatever. They can use it, tweak it, trash it, whatever they want to do, but I'll send it to you.
Very good. And thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks.
All right. Have a good meeting, guys.
We really
See ya.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott.
All right. I guess we are heading to our local president report. And Tom, if this is okay with you and with Zach, in the future, if someone cannot be at the meeting, I'm going to ask that they send a report, because I think it's really important that we share what's going on at our various locals. So just so you're aware.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Stephen isn't here from Broward, but Mike, I saw you on, so let's hear what other exciting things Central Florida's doing.
Well, I'm glad you're calling things exciting. I know it's good that Scott is really doing a great job. My view from a different level is a little different about everything that's going on. But so let me review what my lovely assistant Paula has prepared for me. So I'm going to read this membership. I'm going to read my report. And before I begin, let me also acknowledge Mr. Ashley. This is your last president's meeting, correct? I mean, isn't Zachary taking over in like 10 days?
Zachary is taking over, and I could see that look of excitement on his face there on the screen too.
So really, Scott's getting you the information, Tom, but you're going to be sailing the ocean here before too long. So Zachary is really the one that we need to be connecting with, correct?
Right, that's correct.
Okay. And I'm going to just take some time here because I can do that. Zach, are you also the president of the Tampa local?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So good. So, all right, good. Let me just give my report here, and then I have some closing comments. Central Florida has 141 members. We've had 3 new members in January, all recruited by current members. And in addition, we obtained 12 members through the merger of FSP. On February 29th, we are hosting a membership recruiting event at an Orlando Magic basketball game against the Utah Jazz. We have a sponsorship and we're able to offer tickets at $80 for NAFA members and prospective members and $100 for a family or friend guest. We're going to view the game from an exclusive club level restaurant and with spectacular views, and we'll overlook the arena. There'll be a pregame party at the downtown bar owned by NAFA's own Kevin Mayu. I did not know that we were doing that, so that's an added bonus. In March, we have a luncheon meeting with a speaker from the Department of Labor, and she's going to speak on getting it right, knowing your fiduciary responsibilities and retirement plans. In April, we host our annual spring golf tournament with NABIP, and a portion of the proceeds benefits the Russell Home, which is a local charity. The popular event is held at Dubsdread Golf Course in Orlando, and it will sell out, and it will be a profitable event for our association. And of course, we're proud of Scott Bunkers, who's our PAC chair. He's doing an outstanding job, as you've heard from him. And we are proud of what Scott's done. And he's been in that chair seat for a couple of years. I had stepped out of the association, and so he really back in, and he's been doing this and consistent for years. We had our board meeting yesterday. We went back to all board meetings being in person, no longer on Zoom. So we're back to every board meeting this year will be in person. We're providing lunch for the board meetings. We felt as though we could get some traction out of our board meetings now if we met in person as opposed to remote. And I feel good about that. We added a new board member yesterday, Tony Becerra. He's been an insurance professional for years, and he owns an insurance school. some of you may be familiar. It's called the Hilda Tucker School of Insurance. So he's an owner and an instructor. And so he and I are going to partner and maybe try to do some NAFA recruiting. And I'm just excited that he was recruited by Craig Rodrigue. And so Craig he showed an incredible commitment in recruiting him. And Tony was willing to step into an immediate board position. So he will be our professional development chair and on our board. So the downside is we do not have, again, for those of you who don't know me, I was the president in 2012. I stayed on and did my term. I was on the state board. I made a decision not to go into state leadership. And then I was building my business, which is I have an incredible fee-based financial planning operation. We manage a significant amount of assets for fees. And I was moved by our good friend Brian Holtz. And I said, well, I need to step into a leadership role. So I made a commitment to step into leadership role. And so I immediately last summer moved on to the board and then take over now as the president. But I'm going to tell you what, we have no membership chair in Central Florida. The person that did it last year did not want to take it again. We do not have a president-elect. And I'm in this role until December. So, I'm already at my capacity, and I did not realize that we were going to be struggling like this. So I am looking to fill some positions, and we'll work with you guys however we can to get some, and I intend to fulfill my commitment, and I intend to lead. Sometimes we talk about PAC. Candidly, it's great that we can get the money, but we seem to preach to the choir. The people that are giving are the people that give every year, and the people that are giving, Zach, are opening their checkbooks a little more. And we need to grow this membership. And so again, in Central Florida, we have a need for involvement and new members. So if there are any suggestions that any of you have, I'm open to that. The other question I have is, and I don't remember when I was the president in the past, do we meet on a state level every month? Do we do this monthly?
Yes,
Yes,
we do.
it's a monthly
Is that
meeting.
something that we've done for a long time?
We've been doing this, Mike, for probably 3 or 4 years. 3 years
Okay.
for sure. It started under one of our prior presidents, of course. We came up with the idea that it might be nice to sync up with our local presidents, with leadership, and be able to share some ideas and thoughts, and be able to help out in some cases, particular situations like you're talking about. So yeah.
So how many locals are there now, Tom or Zach? I should defer to Zach. So how many? Because there's the state president on here, and then there's me and Zach. Diana Shipley's on staff with you, Zach, and Tom, and Tamara Kitchens. I'm not sure. Is she the Jacksonville president?
Yep.
Northeast Florida.
Okay, so
Now, Zach is not the president of Tampa Bay. He's the
The-
association
exact.
exec. The president of Tampa Bay is Darian Ward, and he was not able to be on today, obviously. And we're also missing the president of the 4th chapter, and that's Stephen Good from Broward County.
and those folks weren't on last month either. So
Exactly.
so
That's
Zach,
why I'm asking for reports.
okay, so I have a couple comments, Zach, since you're going to take Tom's position. Number one is, if people can't commit to the meetings, it's like I told my board, and I don't want to sound negative but I'm very passionate because I produce, I'm a sole practitioner. I manage, you don't want to know what I do. But if people can't commit to being at a meeting, at least at the beginning of the year, they should, because we schedule our own appointments. So just make sure you don't schedule something. And there's going to be times that I'm going to be at $1 Million Roundtable, or I have conferences that I'm going to be at, and I'm going to say I can't be at this meeting. But Maureen is the president. Tom is admin, you're admin, Diana is admin. I'm not sure. Cheryl, are you the president, or are you sitting in for Jacksonville's president?
I'm the president-elect for Florida.
Okay. Oh, for the state of Florida. That's right. Okay.
Mhm.
So I guess if we want to find value in this, then everybody needs to be on the call. Otherwise, it's a waste of time because you're preaching to the choir. I already get it. And I don't mean to sound negative. I guess it's good that I'm just going to tell you how I feel. An hour of time is a big commitment. So everybody that's a president of a Florida association ought to be on the call, or they ought to have their association exec on the call. And then my question is, what are we supposed to accomplish out of the meeting? What are we going to get? What are we doing?
Well, how would
Mike?
I would address that, Mike, is the fact that it's an idea sharing and in some ways almost an accountability effort as well. If we can be accountable to the others on this call, then we can be accountable to ourselves in terms of what's going on in our local chapters. I get it. We have folks who are not on, who could not be on today. I will tell you that Darian usually is on from Tampa. He has dialed in before. Stephen Good has not. Broward is having some issues. I'm going to leave that alone for right now. But Broward is having
and I'm not, please understand, I'm not throwing anyone under the bus.
No, I know, but
Making an
I think
observation.
what I would say to you is this. I think how you have to look at these meetings, Mike, is, are you getting anything out of it? Whether Darian does or not, or whether Tamara does or not, I think you have to look at this as, are you getting anything out of these meetings?
Well, that remains to be seen.
Right. You're new. You're new to these calls. So in 3 or 4 months, I'd be interested in hearing feedback from Zach as to whether you see value in these. And if you don't, you don't. But I mean, I know that Scott is a member of your local chapter. You're already aware of what Scott's doing. But I got to believe that Tamara Kitchens there in Jacksonville probably found it very, very helpful and very interesting. Even I did. I've been around for a long time. So I think that you kind of have to hang in there with us, and regardless of who else is on the call or not, I think how you have to look at this is, are you benefiting? Are you getting anything out of it?
I think, Tom, if we get reports from the people that are here, they might find it easier to come to the meetings. Also, this meeting is being recorded, am I right?
Yes,
And we send that to the people that missed the meeting.
we can. We sure can.
I think that'd be a good idea, and ask them, please listen, it's very important. Maybe they'll get the idea that they've been missed.
All right.
Okay, well, we don't have Tampa Bay on unless Zach can tell us something about what's happening.
Yeah, I can give a quick update. Don't have any events in February because we're actually going to double up in May on some events. We have like a little networking social thing where we're partnering with the Florida Institute of CPAs. We're having a little networking thing with them and some lawyers and estate planners and whatnot to kind of create a little circle of prospects, as it were, for each other. So we're excited about that one. In March, we got Brian Holtz coming to speak. And in April, we have our golf tournament So we've got a lot going on in Tampa to kind of get people out there and get folks excited about. So that is exciting. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in Tampa. A little concerned about membership as everybody is always. But I think that our membership chair, Mike, this year, I think he's got a good plan. He really wants to attack Raymond James, just because they are kind of like a massive um, institution in Tampa. So I think that's going to be, if he can get after them and get some members out of them and just kind of start a slow trickle, if nothing else, that would be good for just getting membership in the door for
Did
Tampa
you
for
say
sure.
targeting Raymond James?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. Be anxious to hear how you fare with that. I've always felt like we should be approaching those kind of advisors. You know, we don't only have to target the insurance professional, but you can we can approach the financial advisor, the money, the wealth manager. So I'm sorry, go ahead though. But yeah, so Ray J, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we're thinking we're gonna also to kind of Scott's point about PAC, kind of do a little bit of a PAC fundraiser at the tail end of our golf tournament. So we're kind of excited about that because I feel like we really missed the mark on PAC last year. And I think we did like a decent job at raising money, I guess, but like we didn't really have any like PAC specific fundraisers or events. So we're trying to kind of make up for that this year by doing that with the golf tournament, kind of a fundraiser on the back end of that, and then also having a PAC specific event later this year that we've done in the past. So we're gonna bring that back this year. It's a little cooler, ideally, because it is an outdoor like shoot skating thing, or ski shooting, whatever. I can't pronounce it right, but in the summer, we're thinking that might be a little hot, so we're aiming for the fall on that one.
We had a silent auction, and this is a while ago. We had a silent auction at the end of the golf tournament that I had gone to several years ago, and that was very successful. That way you can project online to everybody what's available and they can bid on it. Something to think about.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what we were thinking, Maureen. Because I know that there had been some success with that. In one of my other chapters in South Dakota, they raffled off some sort of like gun for the PAC at their conference in last year, and they raised a boatload of money on that one. Holy crap. So we're thinking of maybe not a gun, but something along those lines, like some sort of like appealing item to kind of raise money for the PAC that way. But I hadn't even thought about putting it online. I really like that idea, so I'm gonna look into that and try to do that.
Okay, thank you. Tamara.
She's still not able to get the mute.
Oh, that's right.
So what she typed in here, she says, we added one new member. Maureen has sent a few names and I have not had a chance, excuse me, have not had a chance to reach out. I had a funeral in Kansas last week and just got back yesterday. We don't have a PAC chair, a membership chair, or event or development chair. We have our monthly member meeting on the 22nd.
Where's Tamara at Jacksonville?
Yes.
So they're in the same boat. No membership chair there either?
Sounds like it, yeah.
I mean, we have like a decent amount of people on the board in Jacksonville, I would say. We just don't have one specifically dedicated to membership, if that makes sense.
And our state net membership chair doesn't have a committee. That's why she did the presentation that she put together, pleading that there is someone. So, I think we all have to look around and find somebody that we feel might be good and suggest them. People don't necessarily always volunteer with their busy schedules, but they respond to somebody going to them and saying, hey, I need your help. And people will respond to that versus, oh, who wants to volunteer for this? Well, nobody's hand goes up for that one. But if you go to them and say, we need your help, you can make it happen. This is a million years ago when I was membership chair in Jacksonville, we had 11 people on our committee. Not just a chair, we had 11 people. Someone who was in charge, someone from every single large agency in town at the time was on that committee. Everybody from State Farm to Prudential, just and on and on. And we met a couple of times. Now you could easily meet virtually, but it really made a difference. So it's just an idea I'm throwing out.
You know, I remember when I was before I came on staff and I was in production, life and health and property casualty agent. I was a member of the Vero Beach local chapter, which has not been around for a long, long time. But a group of us decided to work on membership a little bit, and there were agents in town. I'm sure, like you've got them in your town, who are not members. And we would take a little flyer in our hand. And back in those days, we had membership applications. And I remember stopping by and seeing an Allstate agent, David Cutright, who had been in the business years and years in Vero Beach. And I just dropped by. I didn't have an appointment. I walked in. I said, David, and he knew me. And I said, listen, I said, I've got a bunch of stuff in my hand, but you need to be a member. You need to be a member of this association that protects you and does all this good work. I can go through all the benefit bullet points here on this piece of paper if you want me to, but the truth is, you know that you need to be a member. He said, you know what? He said, you're exactly right. I said, how much is the check? And he wrote the check. I think people respond better. And I know it's time consuming, but if you drop by their office, Michael or Tamara, and you say, look, you've been a member of NAFA Jacksonville or NAFA Central Florida for 22 years. We need some help right now. Would you mind helping us out and serving as membership chair? We got a boatload of tools for you, show you exactly what to do. We can give you the list. Spend 2 or 3 hours a month, just a month, working on membership for us. We'd really appreciate it if you could see your way clear. And that's how you get them. That's how you get them. And I'm regretfully, we just can't throw out an email to all 1,200 members in the state of Florida saying we need help with our membership committee. They're not going to respond to that. I think they need to be asked on a one-on-one basis, just like selling insurance. Just like selling insurance, it's a one-on-one sale. So
I would agree. You have to ask. You always have to ask.
Yeah, you have to
People
ask.
respond to.
Don't go out and say who wants to buy insurance because nobody will raise their hand. I guarantee it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just want to say one other thing. I did contact as many of the people that on the FSP list in town in Florida, and I've given the name to I hopefully all the presidents in the local areas. Please, maybe Zach can help on this as well. Make an effort to invite them to the next event that's being held. Because they know about it. I've talked to a lot of them, especially the ones in Northeast Florida that I knew personally. So it's a wonderful opportunity to get more people involved and I would say try to get one of the FSP members on your board so they can be a voice to the former, the current FSP members that are now NAFA members. See if they'd be willing to be on your board. It'd be a great opportunity. Okay. So we discussed a lot of stuff. One of the things that I want to mention, and this is probably got an awful lot on our plate right now, but for 2024, I really hope that we can get our affiliates more active than they are right now. And that, again, it's a leadership question. We've got to find someone in the various affiliates, and I think Miami needs to be considered an affiliate. We don't have that listed, but there are a lot of members there. And if we got somebody to think about what could attract people, I think we could get a lot more activity going in those areas. So keep that in mind and let me know if you know somebody that you would. I'm more than happy to do it. Contact them. So let me know. Are we going to talk about our educational cruise, Tom?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, okay. Then I'm gonna pass the ball to Cheryl because Cheryl's the expert on it.
Can I just take a step back to the affiliates? I really, Maureen, I really want to implement something for we're touching everybody throughout the state at all and have a schedule set for the entire year. Then we can really focus down on who to contact in those local areas because then we have an event, kind of like goal setting. We have a goal that we're going to be in Miami, or we're going to have a goal to be in certain areas where we can then work backwards on getting the people in that area involved. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I think it's important that we do something other than a meet and greet because that's an awful
I
lot of
agree.
effort and work that was not successful.
And yeah, we're not
So,
talking about a meet and greet. We're talking about more intricate planning.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
So the educational cruise, we have a every year we have an annual conference, and so this year we're going to take it to the water, and we're going to offer our members the opportunity to get their continuing education and their peer to peer networking and interaction out on a cruise ship. And right now we're looking at the potential to be the largest cruise ship in I think the world, or at least the US, I think it's the world, with Royal Caribbean. And hopefully we will get that officially set up and rolled out very soon. But the time frame is in August. And we'll have the continuing education available along with whatever else marketing events that we'll be doing. But that will be something that we could really gear up some excitement for and grab attention for.
Talking about this August?
Anything else? This August, yes.
And you folks are
Yeah.
the first to hear it. This is the grand
Yeah.
announcement here.
So 3 to 4 days, and it will be, you can have the family involved and join with, a couple of days of education or a couple hours each day, whatever we end up planning it for. But this is going to be a great opportunity to get the family involved too, and to experience something that is out of the ordinary, something fun.
And what we're looking at is about 6 hours of continuing education on the boat, on the ship. And probably the first 3 hour segment will be the day you board. The afternoon that you board will knock out 3 hours there. And then on the final day as well. So families invited, like Cheryl said, the rates are very reasonable. Goes out of Port Canaveral, Michael. So right around your neck of the woods there. And we're really excited.
I don't want to be August. I have a grandchild being born and I have a national convention in San Diego that I'm going to. So I don't know that I'm gonna, so it is close to us, but I don't know that I'll be attending. So
gosh, Michael, we were going to ask you to do the CE class for us.
yeah,
So.
right. Thank you. Tom, are you joining? Are you coming back?
I don't think so, because oddly enough, Nancy and I are taking our little cruise on Viking, a river cruise in Germany and Austria, I think. So I think it'll conflict with
Wow, Tom, you got us on this cruise kick.
I know. So you're going to blame me? Is that the deal?
I think so. I think you kind of started this.
No, but we got a few more tiny details to wrap up with this. It's going to go to the board here probably tomorrow morning, get their final okay, and then we're going to pop out the promotions on it, Mike and Tamara. But hopefully you'll push it there in your local chapters and really get a nice crowd out for that cruise. Zach will be leading y'all. He'll be putting things together behind the scenes and be a part of it as well. So Zach, you're going on a cruise. We haven't talked about that, buddy.
I'm excited.
Cheryl, what's the name of the boat again? It's something of the seas. Like I guess they all are.
Utopia.
Brand new ship. It's only when our cruise is August the 12th, they will have only been in the water with that new ship about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
brand new
Yep.
ship.
Crazy.
Yeah. So good
So
job.
you can get lost if you want. There are many thousands of people on.
Kind of like the minnow.
Better not be
Okay,
like
well,
the minnow. Be stuck on an island with my NAFA friends. I don't know. It depends on what's on that island.
Now, who else would you rather be stuck on an island with?
Okay, then I guess it would be you guys.
Okay. All right.
all right. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you, Tom. Talk
All
a little
right.
bit about the Legislative Day on the Hill and the congressional conference coming up.
Very good. Thank you, Maureen. I appreciate it. Yeah, just a quick wrap up on the Day on the Hill. I thought it went very well. We didn't have quite the numbers I was hoping for. They trended about what they were last year. But we really need more people out to that event to really make it a robust event. Everybody had a good time. I thought I got very, very few comments, concerns, if you will, about the entire event and the flow of everything. Appointments from I heard went very well, and you know it's our premier event in terms of really showing off what we do here, what our core mission is, particularly in terms of advocacy and how important it is. And I've always referred to our Day on the Hill event as where you visibly see where the rubber meets the road in terms of your membership dollar with NAFA and NAFA Florida. So the more we can get out to that event, the more disciples we'll gain for NAFA Florida. Michael Laporte is my favorite story about all that, and you've heard it before. I won't go through that again, but he's always the example I've used in terms of the importance of our Day on the Hill event. So we don't have the dates for next year. Zach will be putting that together. We have to wait till the current legislative session adjourns, because it's only when they adjourn did they set the date for the following year's legislative session. So we'll get that date from Tim Meenan's office, and we'll put together the date, and we'll start putting together the details of that immediately as soon as we get the date for it. All right, moving on. We do have our NAFA Congressional Conference May 19 through 21 in Washington, D.C. And I hope that you'll spread the word about that. That is NAFA's version of our own Day on the Hill. Think of it as the NAFA Day on the Hill with the U.S. Capitol and the members of Congress in Washington. It's a fascinating time. It's a fascinating event. If you've never been to that one, if you think our NAFA Florida event is good, wait till you see the one that NAFA does for national. So encourage your members to attend. Hopefully you as local presidents will be able to attend. I hope there's some money in your local budgets to help you get there. It's only 2 days or 3, I guess. Fly in on Sunday afternoon. The meetings begin Monday morning, and you're done by Tuesday afternoon. You can fly home on Tuesday afternoon late after those congressional appointments. I just want to wrap up here with a few thoughts about membership. We've talked about membership a little bit on this call, and membership is the lifeblood. Your local budgets depend upon membership and member recruitment, as it does here at the state level, as it does at the national level. And the more members we have, the more we're able to do, particularly from a financial standpoint and from an organizational standpoint. And there's really nothing more important in terms of the administration of our local and state and national chapters as membership recruitment. I feel your pain, Mike. I feel your pain, Tamara, in terms of not having membership chairs to do the work of that. I would encourage you to maybe take some of the things we've said on this call and see what you can do about finding someone to work membership at the local level. But if I had one last word for you here on this call today as your CEO, membership's where it's at, and make that commitment, get them going, find a way, find somebody. And I'm not saying do it yourself. I've never advocated the presidents trying to do all the roles for that are on the board. You cannot do them. You have to make a living at what you do every single day. But spend a little bit of time and see if we can't get somebody in those chairs to help you out and moving forward. Lean on your chapter executives, your chapter execs to help you with that and securing someone. Lean on your chapter execs in terms of the resources for membership. There is a crap load of resources that NAFA has put together. In my 25 years with NAFA Florida, right now, today, it's never been better in terms of the quality resources that NAFA has to help us grow membership every single day. The full color pieces that they have, the website, you know.
Guys, I just had a client walk in. I'm gonna
All right, very good, Mike. Thank you.
Thank
So
you
anyway,
so much.
Anyway, that's my message to you. Work on membership, try to make it happen, and do everything you can to keep this great association going. So thanks very much.
You know, if you can't get one person to do it, maybe get a group of people, get
Right.
two,
Yep.
co-chairs.
Yep.
Because that way they won't feel that they've got the whole pressure on their shoulders. They can share with somebody, find people that can work together. And I bet it'll be easier to find somebody to say yes.
Yep.
So,
Exactly.
but I
Exactly.
want to thank everybody that came on the call today. I am going to ask in the future, if you can't be on the call, that you please submit a report, because it's really important that we share. That's the whole idea. If you need help, we're here to help. If you're doing something great, we're here to congratulate you. So I want to make sure that comes across. And then if you're not on the call, you don't realize how important it is to do that. So I signed up for the Northeast Florida Lunch, or I tried to, and the Northeast Florida website came up. And I sent that over to you, Zach. So it needs some work, because Tamara's not president yet, according to the website. So
No, yeah.
anyway, just thought I'd mention that before we go.
No, yeah. We mentioned it to National and Vitra, who manages the website, so we're getting that taken care of so it gets
All right,
updated.
good.
I
Okay.
got a message about it while we were on this call, so it should be updated by the end of the day.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, just thought I'd mention while I got you here.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for everything, and have a great month. If you're looking for some plans, don't forget, invite your legislators to visit with you. Invite them to your local association meetings. So, and remember, we can now include attorneys, CPAs. All these people can be regular members of our association. So we should have a very diverse crowd. And if you get them coming in, you can get some really interesting conversations going. So anyway, I guess that's it.
Very good. Good job, Maureen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maureen.
Bye-bye now.
Bye. Good job.